Patch notes 9.9. Here we go again. Mid-patch updates. Fixed a bug where Yasuo's Q has no cooldown during its combo with E. How does that even happen? Whatever. When he switches his camera perspective. That's really strange. Let's get into it. I didn't read the preamble here. Hey all, welcome to the biggest patch of the year so far. Ooh. We're seeing huge changes to Aatrox and Tahm Kench, champions who've relied on specific aspects of their kit to dominate in some skill brackets of play, but make them suffer in others. Soraka's another one we're evaluating, with changes aimed at getting her back to the ally-focused support she was meant to be. Small pool of champions are also getting VFX updates, helping them feel more modern and be up to the caliber in visuals of two newer champions. We're adjusting a wide assortment of runes as well, with the goal of having them compete with other runes and encourage more diverse rune paths. Get ready for one of the longest reads of your week. Wow, I can't wait. Aatrox. Passive attack now also heals Aatrox and multilation? Multilation.
Mutilation.
God, I'm stupid. Can we start again? Can I start the patch notes again? I don't want to have to explain that I don't know how to read mutilation. Q cooldown adjusted and damage increased. W slow flattened and cooldown increased. E heal trigger adjusted. Revive no longer a baseline effect on R. Takedowns now extend R and enable revive. Does that mean you don't get revived if you don't kill anyone? That's awesome. Lots of tuning. Okay. Passive. Deathbringer stance. Mutilation. Aatrox no longer reduces healings and shields on champions. I didn't even know that happened. New. I need healing. Heals Aatrox for bonus physical damage dealt. Okay. Bonus damage is 5 to 10% scaling of the maximum health of the target. Cooldown is 15 seconds. That's like old Aatrox. Like it. Cooldown refund 2 seconds per attack or ability hit on enemy champions and large monsters. Exactly. Fine. I like it. Picture perfect attack frame adjusted to better match Aatrox basic attacks. The Darken Blade. Is it Draken? The Draken Blade. Cooldown timer start. After Q3 cast or after Q cast window expired. So it's like Ribbon. So it's always the same. No. Fine. Cooldown reduced to 6 seconds at max, and the damage is up at all ranks, except for level 1. Cool. Infernal Chains. 25% slow at all ranks. That's pretty good. Cooldown higher at early to deal with that. Which is fine. Scales down to what it used to be. I'm fine with that, that's fine. Umbral Dash. Whirl Dash. No longer grants 15, 25, 35, 45, 55 attack damage for 1 second. Heal Trigger. Physical damage versus champions now to any non-periodic damage versus champions. So that means like dots and stuff don't work, I guess. World Ender. So this is what they say they changed a lot too. So this might be a little confusing. Removed. Revive. Taking lethal damage during World Ender no longer revives Aatrox over 3.25 seconds unless... Got the reset. Takedowns extend World Ender by 5 seconds, refreshing its move speed and allows Aatrox to revive upon taking lethal damage while World Ender is active. Oh my god, that is... There are going to be a lot of situations where people don't attack Aatrox because they don't know that it doesn't automatically revive anymore. That is a big change and makes his ult a lot worse. Move speed. Reviving no longer clears temporary buffs on Aatrox. Aatrox no longer fears nearby allied minions on cast. Okay. New Staying Alive. Aatrox receives 40, 55, 70% increased healing during World Ender. Low during revive. 99%. Okay. So now he can't move, really, while he's in the revive state, which is good. I don't know, I feel like the ult is what made Aatrox Aatrox. And when he was like super lane dominant, when people were playing Aatrox mid, it's because his numbers are just way too fucking high. And all of these don't seem huge at all. I don't know, I feel like they gutted him. But I guess we'll see. This is big though, this is gonna be really confusing. Blitzcrank. While popular for his grabbing and popping, Blitzcrank really only has that one interaction up his non-existent sleeve. We're modernizing his interaction with champions and giving him more to do when his hook is on cooldown. Okay. The passive is now 30% of Blitzcrank's maximum mana. That's fine. Change some noises. Change some visuals. More to do. While his ultimate is off cooldown, Blitzcrank marks targets hit by his basic attacks. Enemies marked take 50, 100, 150 plus 0.3 ability power after a 1 second delay. Whatever. This is more just visuals. This doesn't seem that big. Wonder what the cooldown of this is. But he no longer has Arc Lightning. Like, I wonder if you can attack the same guy a bunch of times. Like, after this pops, can you hit them again for another 150? Like, this is like on hit. I wonder if this is magic damage too. Probably, right? Because it's ability power. On hit Blitzcrank, the new build. Rakan health way up. Armor up by quite a bit. Attack damage down by quite a bit. Magic resist up. Magic resist growth way up. Grand entrance has basically been returned to its former glory. Rakan can no longer cast Grand Entrance or Flash during the first 0.5 seconds of the quickness. Okay. Rakan's R to W combo consumes too much of his power budget of his kit. His zippity zoppity flying is what makes him unique and fun to play, so we're restricting the quickness a bit so we can give him some buffs. Okay. Soraka, Q cooldown and haste adjusted. Empowered heal for allies and health and self increased. Damage decreased. Good. E cooldown decrease. Now scales and damage decreased late. If Soraka is going to be a bully to her enemies in lane, it should manifest through healing and supporting her ally to allow them to beat the pulp out of the enemy lane, not by whittling them down herself with a non-counterable damage. Hey, what do you know? While we like that Soraka can contribute a measure of poke damage to her lane, we aren't particularly happy with the fact that her E-max build offers no real counterplay for her opponents. We're taking this opportunity to make her QW combo more impactful and appreciable for her carry. So players consider utilizing her more supportive nature instead of always playing her as an aggressive goat. Okay. Self-heal scales to 140 plus 0.5 ability power. It's okay. Rejuvenation ally heal. They explain this? Has Soraka Q always offered an ally heal? I don't remember that. I know self-heal. Heal over time. Initial ticks heal more than later. %10 to 30% decaying movement speed. Cost scales to 90 mana, pretty non-existent. There's a counter for how much Wish will heal low health allies. Okay. Not as big as I thought it was, considering that big preamble. Whatever. Tom Kench, passive bonus damage flatten, Q slow range, and slow increase. WCC self for allies, for enemies and allies, and refunds mana when used on enemies. E heal and shield increased and no longer cost mana. R range decreased and cooldown increased. Tom Kench's Devour does too much for a basic ability. Amen. And it makes him a huge priority pick for pros. Regardless of the state of the rest of his kit, we're taking some big steps at redistributing some power, namely by significantly restricting beloved by pro abilities like his ally Devour and making some power and moving some power into his stats. That's fine. Slow increase to 2 seconds. Devour now grounds and slows Tom Kench by 95%. So when he has somebody devoured, he can't move with them and reposition them? Is that what that means? Mana refund 50% when Tom Kench devours an enemy champion. Cooldown 20 seconds at all ranks. Minion spit damage down. Enemy champion damage to 100, 135, 170, 205, 240. Plus 5, 7, 9, 11, 13% target's max health. Plus 0.2 per 100 ability power. So this is just a flat increase on top of what it was before by... Oh no. These are totally different. I wonder what does more damage, the old or the new. Probably pretty comparable. 36% is pretty good. So depending on how this is compared to old W, it's gonna make him top lane a lot more. This makes him swallowing people and running away a lot more difficult. Thick Skin, Abyssal Voyage. These don't really matter that much. 100% gray health. 90% gray health. That's fine. So he gets a bit of extra healing, bit of extra shield. Not a big deal in my opinion. Akali W extended duration when breaking invisibility decreased, cooldown increased early. Doesn't really do anything. Darius. We're improving Darius's conditions for success when he gets in the thick of fights. Healing increased to 45% at max. Missing health on... Okay, so this goes up to all enemies. And the damage is increased by 10 at all ranks. And the scaling is the same. Okay. It's fine. Not really a huge change. Phase dash, mana down, attack damage up. That's fine. Hecarim 50 or 5% per stack. Yeah, Hecarim was too strong. There's a Rek'Sai nerf in here for sure, right? Okay. Health down by basically nothing, mana down by basically nothing, mana regen down by basically nothing. 1.5% Jarvan's max health per enemy champion hit. That's fine. Doesn't really do anything. And in new resistances. 20, 40, 60 bonus armor and magic resist for the duration. That's pretty nice. Removed. No longer grants cannon 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 bonus armor and magic resist. I didn't even know that it did that. That's cool. It's a positive change in my opinion. First mark spawn moved forward by a minute 10. Rift Scuttler changes. Does that mean that the scuttle doesn't pop out till 3:15? Fewer bottom ganks? Oh, thank the Lord. Fewer run bottom immediately ganks? Maokai is underperforming, so we're giving him a little water and a smidgen of sunlight to grow into a mighty tree. In the top and jungle. 5, 10, 25 at max. Okay. He gets off multiple of those. Morgana is still too strong, even with the changes in 9.7. We're targeting her shield this time, so she and her lane partner is a bit more vulnerable when it's on cooldown. Increased by 3 seconds at all ranks. And the shield strength is cut by 10 early and 30 at rank 4. 50 at max, whatever. Rek'Sai. Base attack damage cut a tiny bit. Growth cut a tiny bit. Burrow. They should have nerfed the ult. What the hell? Cooldown increase by 2 seconds. Whatever. 1.5 seconds. Nothing really. Furious Bite. Empowered damage going down by 10 at max. Yeah. 10 at all ranks. This does nothing basically. Rek'Sai is another example of a champion we're trying to quell a bit due to her status as a must-pick for her role. We're hitting 2 birds with 1 stone by taking some bark out of her bite and tidying up some of her base stats. Whatever. Jack in the Box. Sweeping Lens only reveals Jack in the Boxes. Have a small activation range indicators. Okay. Shen, attack speed ratio to 3%. Shadow dash. Damage up. I think Shen's really good. Damage back up a little bit on Silas. It's fine. Increase Volibear's clear speed to help him compete with other junglers. Frenzy stuff. I feel like his clear was fine before. Hunter's Potion removed from the game. Thank God. Hunter's Potion is an underpowered and seldom picked option for players. Holy shit, yes. Oh man. I no longer have to see my fucking junglers buy this bullshit? Nice. We're removing it from the game, as we don't feel it's necessary in the current jungle. I agree. Damage up by 10. Ash got some visuals. Jack's got some visuals. Aftershock. Missing the icon here, guys. Aftershock is taken by a fairly wide variety of champions, especially those with access to hard CC who opt into the rune for a windowed boost of durability. Right now, it looks to be strong on mages specifically. That extreme durability in combination with high amounts of burst damage mages can provide via Aftershock's AP ratio leaves little room for opponents to play against Aftershock mages. To combat these cases, we're specifically targeting Aftershock's scaling to better hit the same power level for all its users. So the base goes down. And lower max health. Okay, whatever. It's basically just an overall nerf. Minor rune tuning. Bone plating to 3060 based on level. It's fine. All movement speed bonuses are 10% more effective to 1% movement speed, plus all bonus move speed bonuses are 7% more effective. We want more players to use it and broaden its use cases, so while these changes may not always be favorable to its old top tier users, it should be stronger overall. Yeah, that makes sense. Cheap shot is now 1045. So burst damage has gone up by 2 to 5 damage. Conditioning, 9 bonus armor and magic resist. Demolish now shows how much damage the next Demolish empowered basic attack will do. That's really useful. Fine. Magical footwear has become its own beast that outperforms every other option by a large margin. True. Reining it in a bit so that it still stays viable for many champions, but isn't so overwhelmingly better that other runes can't be considered. Okay. Basically just buffs around the board, which I like. Scorch 15 to 35 based on level, so 5 extra burn damage. It's pretty useful. Ultimate Hunter up to 25 at max stacks. Damn, dude. Nice. Rift Scuttle. Right now, there's a lot of frustration between junglers and laners due to an expectation for the laners to help the jungler secure Rift Scuttler when it first spawns at 2 minutes. This tension creates forced, awkward conflicts between players who are at the point are barely level 2, pushing players to pick junglers and laners that are strong at level 2 and 1 respectively. By moving Scuttler's spawn time later, players will have a bit more time to plan out and assess the game before committing to taking down the Scuttler. They'll also be less mandated to pick specific champions who are strong at early Scuttle takes. As a note, this is not meant to be a meaningful nerf to early game junglers. It's a pretty long timer increase, though. It'll grant more gold and experience when killed. Anyway, that moves the... They don't even mention that. It's really weird. Because the rotation that a lot of people take is red to Krugs, then gank bottom, or just red then gank bottom and take Scuttle Crab. But that doesn't happen anymore, apparently. Bug fixes and chromas, hey. Was that so bad? I don't think so. Did take a while, though. 30 minutes.